So, federal agents just surged into Chicago and a full-blown constitutional fight is breaking out. Kayleigh is going viral after delivering what she called a constitutional law lesson to Mayor Brandon Johnson and Governor J.B. Pritzker. At the heart of this is a single question. Does Washington have the final say when it comes to enforcing immigration law, or can states shut the door on federal action? And the debate has already lit up social media, dividing Americans who either see federal agents as defenders of law and order or as symbols of federal overreach. And here's where it gets incredibly serious. Federal supremacy is colliding head-on with states' rights, and the outcome could shape our republic. So what happens next changes everything. And you guys think, and tell me in the comments, tell me in the chat, do you guys believe federal law should override state sanctuary policies? So my name is Tom. I'm with the Daily Beltway. I'm also publisher of the Illinois Review and a White House correspondent for the Next News Network. And before we get into details, make sure you guys hit that like, comment, and subscribe buttons. We're a growing channel, and every thumbs up and every I voted for this helps us really get through and push through the algorithmic support. So we're going to cut right into a video segment here. It's Kayleigh on Fox News laying out exactly why the Constitution is on the side of federal authority.
I just want to give Mayor Brandon Johnson of Chicago, the authorities in Chicago, J.B. Pritzker, a little constitutional law lesson. Number one, what is happening in Chicago is entirely different than what we are talking about in Portland and in Memphis. Number one, ICE is conducting operations. They have the federal authority to conduct. The Supreme Court has been crystal clear. ICE can conduct operations. It is the sole purview of the federal government, number one. Number two, federal agents have been deployed to protect an ICE facility. Oh, wait, where do you have the authority for that? Pretty clear. I cited it from the podium when we did this protecting the Portland courthouse. 40 U.S.C. 1315, you can deputize officers to protect federal property. Well, why do they need federal protection in Chicago at that ICE facility? Because DHS tweeted out pictures of what was found outside the ICE facility. Guns, handguns, weapons, 11 people arrested outside that facility. Donald Trump is crystal clear within his authority when he says I'm protecting an ICE facility and he deploys ICE to conduct operations. So any comparison to militarizing cities, it is totally unfounded. Perhaps pick up a Constitution, maybe read some Supreme Court case law.
So here's what happened, guys. Attorney General Pam Bondi signed a directive ordering the FBI, DEA, U.S. Marshals, and ATF into Chicago. The operation was called Midway Blitz, and it targeted apartment buildings tied to foreign gang affiliates. And federal agents literally repelled from helicopters, swept entire blocks, arresting suspects they already wanted for violent crimes. If you guys want a video of the federal agents rappelling down out of the helicopters, I did a video on that yesterday. And local leaders like Mayor Brandon Johnson and Governor J.B. Pritzker are furious. They argue that Chicago is a sanctuary city and that the raids violate the 10th Amendment's protection of state sovereignty. And Johnson called Trump's unstable and labeled the raids political theater. And J.B. Pritzker even told Illinois residents to film and post encounters with federal agents online, which is not good. But McEnany fired back, reminding them that the Supremacy Clause of the Constitution gives Washington the authority to enforce immigration law anywhere that they want and any time that they want. And she said local politicians are not playing games while gangs are threatening citizens. So tell me this in the comments and on the chat, do you guys think Johnson and Pritzker should face consequences if they block federal enforcement? I sure as hell think so, but I want you guys to let me know in the comments what you think. So, and meanwhile, the numbers, they don't lie. Chicago's overall crime has dropped compared to last year. Homicides are down by nearly a third, yet federal officers insist gangs tied to legal immigration remain a major threat, and they do. It's because Chicago is underreporting their crimes. And supporters of the raid say it's about keeping citizens safe, and while critics also say it's about intimidation and control. And this is where it all changes. The Trump administration is signaling that this isn't a one-off. Bondi hinted that similar deployments could hit cities like Portland and Memphis next week. If Chicago does push back, it could go all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court. So if you guys got value from this update, please tap subscribe. My opinion on this matter is next. So here's the bottom line. The Constitution, it's crystal clear, and the United States Supreme Court upheld this, that the federal law is supreme when it comes to immigration. That doesn't mean that states have no say, but it does mean that local leaders cannot ignore federal authority when it suits their politics. And this class in Chicago isn't just about one city. It's about whether our republic can enforce its own laws against those who break it. And if governors and mayors can block federal law, then the rule of law itself will collapse. And this is why this fight matters to every single American watching. The Trump administration is standing firm on law and order. And the question is whether local politicians will keep playing games or finally put their citizens first. So as always, stay alert, stay informed, and never forget that this republic is worth defending.